What if I told you that some of the money you're earning today was already spent 2 years ago? Not because you overspent recently, but because a version of you, one who is younger, maybe less informed, made a decision that is still running. Most of us think our financial stress is about what we're doing right now. We look at our current income, our current habits, or our current bank balance. But for a lot of people, the real weight isn't coming from today at all. It's coming from choices that were made months or even years ago, choices that never actually stopped. Today, we're talking about why your past financial choices are still quietly running your life. You're earning more now than you used to. You're working hard, and like many people, you have more than one job. And yet, money still feels tense. There's hesitation before you check your bank balance, even when you know there should be enough. You're cautious with every spend, second-guessing things that should be small and simple. A quiet financial anxiety follows you through the grocery store aisles, through the checkout line and back home. This is what we call phantom friction. It's the feeling of driving with the parking brake partially engaged. You're pressing the gas, getting the raises, putting in the overtime, but the car isn't moving as fast as it should. Present income does not always equal present freedom. Your paycheck arrives in the present, but a large portion of it was already committed before it arrived. We like to think of each paycheck as a fresh start, a clean slate every 2 weeks. But in reality, past financial decisions stay active long after the excitement fades. Take Artie, for example. 3 years ago, he bought a high-end laptop on a low monthly payment plan. At the time, it made sense. He needed it, or at least really wanted it. Today, that laptop is slow. The battery barely holds a charge. He doesn't even enjoy using it anymore. And yet, every month, part of his paycheck still goes toward that 3-year-old decision. His life has moved on, but the payment hasn't. Some of your money was already decided by a version of you with different priorities, information, and circumstances. Financial decisions don't feel like they follow you, but they actually do. There is a documented paper trail that stays visible for years and directly changes the conditions of your present life. Take credit history as the clearest example. A few missed payments in your early 20s aren't just a memory. They are a live data point that financial institutions use to make decisions about you today. And those decisions come with real costs attached. Consider this. Someone with a credit score around 580 taking out a 5-year auto loan might end up with an interest rate anywhere from 8 to 12% higher than someone with a score around 720. On a modest loan, that difference can translate into thousands of dollars, not because of anything they're doing wrong now, but because of what happened years ago. Past debt also affects options in quieter ways. When income is already committed to old balances, you lose the ability to save. And when you can't save, you lose access to opportunity. You can't put down a deposit. You can't cover the startup cost. You can't take the risk. This is where it starts to feel personal. Because of past commitments, your world begins to get smaller in ways that are hard to name but easy to feel. Think about someone sitting in a job they're ready to leave. The opportunity is there, a side business they've been building quietly, a role somewhere else that pays better. But they can't take a single month of reduced income. They can't risk the transition because the monthly obligations they've accumulated won't pause for them to figure it out. So they stay because yesterday's commitments are ones they're now forced to fulfill. Sometimes the thing holding the door closed is yesterday's version of you. Every one of these commitments started as a choice. It was optional. You could have said no. A slightly higher car payment, a new subscription, a balance left on a card instead of cleared. Each one felt like a small, reasonable decision at the time. But over months and years, something shifts. These choices stop feeling deliberate and they fade into the background of your finances. They become expected. You stop asking whether they should be there and start assuming they will always be there. What began as a decision quietly becomes a structure, one that can shape your entire financial life. When your past choices have used up all of your financial margin, today is left with none, and that creates what we can call emergency fragility. A flat tire, a broken appliance, an unexpected medical bill. These are things that should be minor inconveniences, the kind of thing you handle and move on from.
But when there is no financial cushion, even a small cost starts to feel like a crisis. The stress isn't just about the repair, it's because paying for the tire means something else doesn't get paid, or the fragile balance you've been maintaining tips slightly further in the wrong direction. You are operating on the edge because yesterday's commitments quietly consumed the safety net you were supposed to be standing on. The reason so many people don't see this pattern or feel like they can't change it is that it never happened all at once. It built slowly, one routine decision at a time. Each one was normal and manageable, and over time, normal and manageable became the whole picture. The commitments settled in so gradually that they stopped feeling like the result of choices and started feeling like the weather, something that's just there. These carryovers came from choices made by a version of you working with the information, emotions, and circumstances they had at the time. A financed phone, a car payment, a credit card used during a difficult stretch. These are the kinds of things millions of people do without a second thought. You cannot change what happened, but you can reduce how much of it controls your tomorrow. The shift starts with awareness, seeing the financial structure that is quietly built up around you. Start by asking yourself honest questions. First, what am I still paying for that no longer serves my current life? Go through your fixed monthly costs and ask whether each one is for the life you're living now or whether it's a ghost from an earlier version of your life still collecting a payment. Second, which of these costs could I realistically renegotiate, downgrade, or remove within the next 90 days? One removed commitment creates breathing room. That breathing room creates options, and options are what this whole thing has been quietly taking from you. Third, what would one less carryover commitment free up going forward? Not just financially, but in terms of flexibility and the opportunities you could actually say yes to. Here's the thing about your finances. They will always include a bit of yesterday. That is just how money and time work together. The choices you make from this point forward will build the financial structure that a future version of you will be living inside.